Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Natasha Will and Eric Brandhorst. Welcome. So you both are with the Quincy Public Library, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me today. I think we're all familiar with, of course, the Quincy Public Library and the event, which is the Big Read. But I'm interested to learn more about what the big deal is with the Big Read.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So the Big Read, it's a national grant that is put on by the National Endowment for the Arts. And so it is awarded to libraries, nonprofits. It's a pretty thorough application process. So that's kind of what we did last year. Put out our plan together with all the programs. We really wanted to link the themes of the book to where we live, which is a big part of the NEA grant. And that's what we did. We chose The Bear by Andrew Krivak. We'll be hosting him, so bringing the author in to have a discussion about, his writing process, what he goes through, and what inspired this book, and hopefully deliver a set of program that links the natural world, Quincy, all of our beautiful parks, into one cohesive program over 2 months in September and October.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the theme, where we live, which, it does, of course, it has multiple meanings, but being more in tune with nature and our community surrounding us. And so the theme, was it chosen before the book, or was the book chosen before or how did you kind of wrap that all into one pretty picture?
Yeah, so Where We Live is actually the theme of this year's Big Read.
Okay.
So it's, we essentially had to figure out how to tie in,
Gotcha.
This book to Quincy and the surrounding area, really try to reinforce those connections between nature, the human experience, all of that sort of stuff, which really exists in this book and what we really wanted to highlight and make it, tie it to Quincy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. So you mentioned the author, Andrew, what's his last name? I don't want to butcher it.
Krivak.
Okay. So he's actually coming here in a series of events, because the Big Read is more than just reading a book. You
That's
put
right.
on events to kind of bring everyone together to celebrate the Big Read, the book, the theme. So aside from the author coming, which is very, very cool.
Yep.
What other events do you have lined up?
Something that's really exciting, we've partnered with a ton of organizations in Quincy and the Quincy area. We're doing a art contest with the Art Center. And so it's a great opportunity, local artists to submit their work, and it's to capture their experience in nature or, inspired by the natural world in Quincy. And so we're going to do a competition. We're bringing in an outside adjudicator, and there'll be prizes for first, second, and third for this art contest, which we're very excited about.
Right.
Part of the Big Read, we do have to have creative writing. So our teen librarian is hosting a Dungeons and Dragons character building session. So teens will have the opportunity to really build out their own Dungeons and Dragons character, which kids will love. The teens will love. We're also we're hosting an ecotherapist, so really linking the benefits, both physical and mental, of being in nature and in those spaces to kind of the themes in the book. So we'll be hosting an ecotherapist on October 3rd. Okay. We've got a nature class with a budding artist.
Okay.
So hosting the budding artist to kind of work through, do some pottery, again, linking that link between the natural world and, the book.
Sure.
And then we do also have the Little Read, which I think you guys are familiar with, Ron.
Our favorite Ron Kinsherf, yes.
Yeah, so I cannot remember. It's been a couple years ago we decided to try to fit a Little Read in with the Big Read.
Okay.
So once the Big Read book is chosen, we try to find a book that goes along with it or matches the theme as best we can.
Sure.
So then that way the kids can get on it as well. So they will actually get a free copy of Ron's book with me, and we'll have those at our kickoff as well. And then we are going to have Ron come to the library and do a program to kind of talk about, he'll read his book, talk about his vision for the book and how he worked with the illustrator and how it came about. So it's always great for children to be able to meet an author.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Ron is so good. I mean, if you've never heard him read or tell his story on, why he chose to write books, it's heartwarming and touching, and he's hilarious, and he's it's a really interesting story, and he's a very interesting guy, so I definitely recommend it. And I love that there's something for every age and almost every channel, through different arts and different, ways to link ourselves with nature and our surrounding community and reading. It's all so important, and it all ties in together. So I love that this is a thing. I love that we're able to do it. And I love that you all, took the time to reach out and get that grant so we could do the big read, right?
Yep.
So where can people learn more about all the events taking place, how to get involved? What are the books available to everyone? How does that work? And where do people find information?
Yeah, so you can always find information at quincylibrary.org, and all our events are listed on our calendar. Okay. So just filter to Big Read, and you'll see everything associated with the Big Read. We are hosting a kickoff in Washington Park on September 19th. That'll run from 6 to 8. We will be hosting the author Andrew Kravak on the 19th around 6 o'clock, and so anybody is welcome to come in, grab a book. We'll be giving away The Bear as well as I'm With Me.
Okay.
Everybody is welcome, and so we really would love to get rid of all of our books. So come out.
We don't have to take them back to the library.
Yeah. Right, yeah. You don't want to lug them back.
Yeah.
Also, who doesn't love a free book and
That's
something different to do? Also, we've been talking a lot, especially in this community, about reading proficiency and getting kids involved. And what better way to do that than to go and experience this, meet the authors, get involved with the community, with nature. And I think it's just, it's going to be a great event.
And so September 19th, and we're going to have a bunch of our partners, so QMG, Blessing, Quincy University, John Wood, we really tried to make this a community event. And so they'll all be there supporting in some way, shape, or form. So definitely come check it out and get a free book.
Yeah, get involved, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, thank you both so much. I hope everybody takes advantage of it. It's a great program. It is a big deal. The Big Read is a big deal. So get involved, get to know the authors, get to know your community a little bit more, and just get involved. I think it's great. Yes. Thank you both so much. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing you on the 19th.
Sounds great.
All right,
you.
Thanks so much. Coming up next, I sit down with Stephen Fuller, local hero. Stay tuned.
Kelly's has been a fun place to eat and drink in Quincy since 1982. A fun and friendly atmosphere, food with flavor, homemade cinnamon rolls, and famous cheese soup, the best menu in town. Kelly's, 2902 Broadway, Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar. all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
And welcome back. Joining me now, I have the pleasure of sitting down with local hero, Stephen Fuller. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here.
So every time I say hero, I see this smirk kind of run across your face because I know that it's not something that you consider yourself, right? But
Yep.
but I'm gonna tout you because I think it's very, very important. If you haven't read the story, David Adam he wrote up a big story about an incident that happened. Was it last week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
In Quincy, which we'll get more to on that. But before we get there, I want to learn a little bit more about Stephen Fuller. So, Stephen, you are branch manager at Enterprise in Quincy.
Correct.
Okay. How did you end up in Quincy? You're not born and raised here, right?
So, nope, born and raised in Mississippi, small town called Scuba, Mississippi, only about 700, 800 population there. Ended up, when I left from Scuba, I went to college in Mobile, Alabama, where I was fortunate enough to play football for the University of South Alabama, for the Jaguars. But I was able to do that. After graduating from college, I was able to secure a job. Well, I bounced around a few locations. I ended up moving to Hannibal, Missouri with them, and then ended up starting with my career shortly after that with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, which brought me to Quincy, Illinois.
Yeah.
There, met my family, met my wife, and, started having kids, and now kind of rooted in the area.
Yeah. So how you like Quincy?
I love it so far.
Yeah.
Well, one of the greatest times you can raise a family, and I can say that with 100% confidence. But I love the area here. Such good people. Everyone is so kind. Kind of like that same Southern hospitality you get down south, but all compacted here in this small town of Quincy, Illinois.
Yeah, love it. How long you been here?
I've been here 8 years now. Yep.
Excellent.
8
Yeah.
years.
That's awesome. I was telling him that he's helped me quite a few times out at Enterprise. Not only, of course, you're a good guy, you can tell that, right? But your customer service skills are top notch. So Enterprise is lucky to have you.
Yes.
Quincy is lucky to have you. And I don't know if you believe in, faith or kind of divine intervention, but coming to Quincy, maybe you didn't realize that this was going to be in front of you. But let's talk a little bit about why I'm calling you a hero. The incident, I guess, I don't know a better way to put it, but walk me through what happened last week and why I think we're all lucky that you're here.
So it was my regular routine of me leaving home to get to work. I was driving on Spring Street to exit out towards and turn out on 18th Street to go to Broadway right by the Abbey. Mm-hmm. That's when I noticed that the police cruiser was parked at the end of the road, kind of blocking the entryway out. So I sat there for maybe about 10, 15 seconds, and then I saw the officer come across. He was running around the vehicle. Then he had a jack. He was trying to get that to work, and nothing seemed. He was kind of panicking, so I knew it had to be a dire situation. That's why I wanted to get out and try to render some kind of aid and to try to assist as best as I can. So I got up to the vehicle. He was trying to lift up on it, and I got in on the front end of it and picked it up. Where another officer was arriving on the scene as well, and then luckily it was another lady out there who was able to pull the kid off from underneath it. I know he was in some agonizing pain under there, but I'm glad that he made it out okay, got checked out and everything. So that was kind of the incident in total. And then right before I left, the officer made sure he came and introduced himself to me and made sure he got my name and number and wanted to just thank me so much right there at the scene. So I do thank him for that. Those are the true heroes right there. They throw the hero word around to me all the time, but those are the true heroes, are the QPD officers who were at the scene, who was able to get to it as fast as possible, and I was just there to be able to render some kind of aid that I could.
I got goosebumps from the top of my head to my toes because, okay, for one, if you don't know the entire situation, what Stephen saw, what he was explaining, there was somebody trapped under a car, and maybe you did or didn't know that when you looked down there, but you did notice the officer. Was it Toddy? Is that
yep,
okay?
Toddy.
He was down there, kind of, from what you could tell, panicking, running around the car, trying to figure out a way to, get this car lifted off of this young person. who I am assuming was trying to fix a car and maybe
Yep.
the jack gave out or
Yep.
something.
That's what it seems like to me. I saw the jack laying right beside the front end where he was at, where he would have been at to try to fix the vehicle. And it was, I'm a car guy myself. You know how those scissor jacks they'll slip out sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm really lucky he was able to have someone outside with him as well to be able to call 911 and get some
Sure.
help out there as soon as possible. But yeah, that seemed like the situation right there. He was
Yeah.
underneath the vehicle and.
So full disclosure, when I see something like that, I mean, my first reaction, my first response is to, it's either fight or flight. I'm like, choo, see you later. Not that I'm proud of it, but it's like some people are built for, running towards an emergency situation, and some people just aren't. Me, sorry. But so I love that your first instinct was to run towards the issue to see if you could help. Have you ever been in any like emergency services before? Did you have any experience with that, or what do you think attributed to you just running?
No, I would just say that attributes to me just being a father, honestly.
Yeah.
Me knowing and seeing that someone's in need for something that I want to be able to try to assist because I know there's someone else's kid maybe, or there's someone else's dad, or there's someone else's mom. So at the end of the day, I was so glad that everybody's able to make it home safe, like I said earlier. So that's kind of like I attribute that to just me being a father and then me being, just a Southern guy like that. We see stuff like that happen all the time. I always want to try to make sure I can help if I see someone in assistance or something like that.
Yeah,
in
that's
need.
awesome. So the officers, of course, thanked you. I thank you. I don't know if you've actually met or spoken with the person that you helped or his family, but I have no doubt that they are so happy you were there that day. So when you're walking through this, when you're talking about it, you very much just kind of, I was there, I did this, but you physically lifted this car, right?
Yeah. It was. I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Listen, I was just gonna say, I'm glad you have some strength on you because
it wasn't. I'm not gonna say I lifted it over my head or anything like that.
You lifted it enough.
We got the vehicle up just enough so they can be able to pull him off from underneath the vehicle. It was really, it happens in a split second when you're doing it. So you get that unfound strength whenever you're trying to, you see somebody in assistance like that or in kind of like a dire need like he was. I know he was under a lot of pain. I heard him underneath the vehicle screaming, so I know that it wasn't a comfortable situation for him.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make sure we got him out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And scared. I mean, I just can't imagine, you have the adrenaline running through you. So it was you and the officer. Was there someone else lifting the car? Okay.
No, the other officer had just soon me and him had started back lifting the vehicle. Another lady there, she had him by the legs, pulling him off underneath the vehicle. And the other officer had just got on the scene, and he kind of helped kind of pick it up a little bit more.
Assisted.
But we make sure that it happened so fast too. I'm so happy that I was there. I'm so happy that the officer was there. Like I said, those are the true heroes in this instance. They did a fantastic job. I know they had the ambulance and everything was out there. As soon as we got him out from underneath the vehicle, I started back kind of walking towards my vehicle, and ambulance and fire truck and everything was arriving at that time. So they're really quick assistance. I felt like. Yep.
Well, I will say thank you on behalf of everyone. This could have been a totally different outcome had you not been there. I know that, of course, we know that our law enforcement and emergency services, they are heroes, but it's the everyday citizen who runs to help and not away from that I think that, it's not something that you expect to happen. It's something that you would hope would happen. But I will say I'm very grateful you were there. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for believing in Quincy enough to come here. We're glad that you stayed here, of course, not just because of this, but because everything you bring to our community. Grateful for, your wife and family for keeping you here, right?
Yes.
So do you plan on staying in Quincy?
I do plan on staying on Quincy. My wife told me once we bought a home, we were going to do a track with me bouncing around a few places, but I do plan on staying here for the time being.
Yeah.
Once we bought a home, she was like, she wants to, start raising her family here, and then I'm all in for it.
Absolutely.
Fantastic schools. I have 4 kids. 2 of my older boys are autistic, and then like the programs around here, man, they're top notch. So just the therapy they get from the ABA therapists and the local QMG here, man, I can't thank Quincy enough for what it's done for me. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to be able to give back in some kind of capacity.
That's outstanding. Stephen, there's nothing else I can add to that. You are an upstanding gentleman. We're lucky to have you, and congratulations. Thank you so much. I
Glad to be
appreciate you.
here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And if you haven't read the story, make sure you go out and read the story by David Adam. It is something that will warm your heart, and we all need a little bit of that these days. So thank you again, Stephen. I appreciate you. I think that does it for today's Daily Muddy. We'll catch you back here tomorrow for Club Muddy.